came back, shot in the mouth while handcuffed after being tortured and humiliated for 90 minutes.
Take a listen to this.
Michael Corey Jenkins. Say his name. Michael Corey Jenkins. Rankin County, Mississippi deputies are wicked. They attempted to kill Michael Jenkins by putting a gun inside his mouth and pulling the trigger after 6 white deputies broke into the rural residence in Rankin County, Mississippi on January 25th, terrorizing Jenkins and brother Eddie Terrell Parker. After the 6 white deputies repeatedly beat them up, repeatedly tased him, repeatedly punched and kicked the men for 2 hours, during which they even threw eggs at the men and used waterboarding tactics on the men and even attempted to assault the men with a dildo. That's what I said. Then a deputy shot Michael Jenkins inside the mouth with his gun. Now, Black Lawyers for Justice and myself have picked up the case, and now the feds are on the case, and the deputies are on the verge of indictment, just like the officers in the Tyree Nichols case. So the battle for justice is on. Support Michael Corey Jenkins.
Michael Corey Jenkins, and of course his brother, because his brother was assaulted as well. Now, it is mine. Now this is tragedy, and we know this is something as people, at least speaking for myself, as a black male, black man in America, I know that my appearance, is scrutinized in a different way than others' appearances, whether it be a white person, or a white male, or an Asian male, or Indian male, or Hispanic male. There may be some comparisons and correlations in some instances. However, when it comes down to it, if it's a room full of people, generally, and speaking from my perspective, if it's a room full of people of all different racial and ethnic backgrounds, and I walk my black American ass in there, then the energy changes, and the energy is regulated by my appearance. Whether I could code switch it and be in 3-piece suit or whatever, or I could just go in and wear what is known as street clothes, and have my hair in a style that the twisted up style or what have you. I just recently cut my hair, so it's crazy how now that I don't know if it might be embedded. Ingrained racism, it's like, well, I feel a little bit lighter. I feel as if maybe it's just my perception. I believe I'm welcome into the room a little bit different than it was my hair when I had to nap, when I was being a nappy head Negro. And I love my naps. I just couldn't find nobody to style. I'm 51, and my shit started breaking, and it's like, well. It wasn't like I hope I'm not going bald, but I'm all off the point. But back to the case, man. What I'm really trying to get to is like, well, apparently he kept on saying white officers, and just like in Tyree Nichols' case, it was black officers. But it's still the fact that it is this group of people that are designated by society to police the populace. Some people call them, police officers. Some people call them race soldiers because they tend to be more protective or work more in the interest of those who aren't considered black. And that's just from my experience and evidence. But however, according to, I don't know whether I missed it when I was listening to it now, or whether I read it on the original post, was that this gentleman. He had an affection for well, I don't know whether it's kind of like when I heard this story, I heard Emmet. I guess he had some type of an affection for a white girl. He was messing with them white girls, as the old folks, the ancestors used to tell me. you know, my granny and them. Because and I'm not, let me preface this by saying I have no problem with whoever chooses to date. Pick who you want to date. You know, if that's who you love, that's who you love. There are a lot of beautiful couples that are interracial, and they create very, very good, I don't know, very fine people. They got cool ass kids. You know, I know a lot of mixed. I mean, I guess everybody to some degree is mixed. You know, if we especially if we hail from the plantation, from the days of the plantation in this country. So we got to. And they see the sign says that these lanes merge into one lane. I guess the semi truck was gonna try to beat me to merging over, and I'm in the slow lane. Come on, pimp. But yeah, you know, you look at it, right? Emmett Till was supposed to have just merely whistled. Well, I don't know whether he whistled, but the rumor has it he did something to gain the attention inappropriately in the eyes of his accusers of this lily white girl. So what happened to Emmet Till? He ended up being killed, and according to evidence, he was tortured before he was killed. So now you have this situation. I guess it's at least 50 more, you know, maybe slightly more than 50 years later. We have another situation where these officers, police officers to some, race soldiers to others, they enter into not only this man's house, this man and his brother's house. They go about beating both of them, beating them. You know, and then not only do they beat them, they go back to their Desert Storms, Iraqi, Afghanistan training, where they attempted to do some form of waterboarding to the brother, you know, and then not only that, if that wasn't enough, they shot the man in the mouth. The man is thankful to be alive. I guess no, but not only that, they had a picture as evidence. They had a dildo that they was gonna try to put in the man's rectum. Now I'm gonna put the link to this video. Matter of fact, it's shared on my page already. So, and you imagine, you know what I mean? This is all speculation and rumor. The man may not even dealt with white women at all. But according to the way this is being laid out, is that evidently these white boys had a problem with him messing with that white gal. As in the correlation, them white boys had a problem with Emmet Till messing around with that white gal. And like I said, you know, Martin Luther King, little white boys and little white girls, and little black boys and little white girls. So, you know, the I Have a Dream speech, you know, they came through with the civil rights where you can eat at them people counters, and they can go to schools. Everybody. I'm back. And you could go to them people's schools and all that, you know, and they had the Loving, Virginia versus Loving situation where take that off. Yeah, so where they were given the right to have to intermarry, interracial marry, whatever. What kind of shit is they got going on here? But let me get to the point though, man. This man went through this punishment. This was some extreme punishment, some extreme torture this man went through. And not only him, his brother had to take some of that ass whooping with him. Merely on the fact that the fact he chose to, of who he chose to mess around with. He was messing around with. Now, my people, and most definitely the women, folk told me, you know, don't be, you know, don't. And, you know, for right or wrong reasons, you know, we do tend to lean toward our own kind, but you know, if for whatever reason, if they felt was in my best interest, to stick with my folks. But you know, it's sown over something that seems to be inherently, or not necessarily inherently, or ingrained into the into the mindset of the black male, where you know, and it seems that we should know this, considering the rate of high blood pressure and things like that in our community. We don't believe that fat meat greasy. The black boy don't believe fat meat greasy. The black male, he gotta go see. He gotta go see. So, and I guess it comes down to the taboo part of it. You know, in the sick mind of the black male, being able to sexually conquer the white woman is somehow a slap back at the man. Meanwhile, you're being used as if you're some type of you know, they're showing out for daddy. I guess you could say they're rebelling against daddy, or you're just to see what's going on beneath your waistline. I don't know what level or degree this man, whether or not it was a situation where he was down there talking to a white lady. Corey Jenkins, he has a GoFundMe. I don't know, man. We live in different times and things are different now. And, you know, I guess, hey, everybody has their own particular preference. And people think differently. They say that, you know, from the great Oprah Winfrey said, you know, the old races have to die out. I don't know if y'all heard that. I don't know when I get in the parking lot, Oprah said that in order for racism to go away, all the old races have to die out. Now, whether that'll be the case remains to be seen. You know, because it seems like every time you think that an old racist has died out, you know, in comes a younger racist, a extremely younger racist that's done extremely racist things. You know, like go and shoot up a supermarket and kill a bunch of old people, old black people. I don't know, you know, and you go about it, it's really the situation where you're just rebelling. For at least from my experience, I'm gonna speak for myself. It was the one, maybe two times in my life, in my very young life, but one time, you know, just, you know, it was a repetitive situation that I messed with a white gal. You know, once. It for me, it was, you know, okay, yeah. Once the conquest is over, it's like you start feeling the sense of guilt. You better not be outside nowhere, going about running errands or going to get something to eat or something like that. And you booed up with Becky Susan May. The glares that you get are from black women, and I mean that's righteous, because I guess, you know, if I see a beautiful black woman with someone who is not a black man or black male, and that's prejudice. That's not a power dynamic. I can't make you date no black man if you don't want to date no black man. Just like I can't make a black man date a black woman, you know, just for the sake that I choose to date a black woman. But it seems that this gentleman, you know, him and just due to proximity, his brother, they caught the beats and the torture and the shot to the mouth and the possible sodomy. I don't know why they said that they tried to. I don't know. He must have fought. Yeah, fight, nigga, fight. You better fight if they're going to do that to you, but. Welcome to America. I've arrived at my assignment. I hope you all are doing well. I do appreciate you all for continuing to support me, man. All of that is greatly appreciated. I'm just shuffling my way on through. You know, I guess if I want to put out I guess a message or say the thing, express myself in the way I wish to express myself on certain topics, I do have to come on and somewhat captivate an audience, you know, by the things that I say and by, you know, the way that I say them. So with that being said, man, Candyland where I take my stand and I make my bands, I'm here. You know, I joke about the plantation, you know, the good old white man's job in which I work on. But hey, you know, you think about where we are in this country. It's not like, you know, we are of an equal level of business owners, corporation owners as they are. You know, that's what civil rights. I would have thought civil rights would also included economic rights as well, but I guess we'll just keep on seeing reparations now for the next 20, 30 years, and maybe by then, I guess the lights will be out on this whole thing. Nevertheless, peace and love, y'all. Y'all have a great day.